Hey everybody, and welcome to another Majesty video, and today we'll be doing a deck analysis / discussion on a premium deck known as Angel GYZE. This is a deck mixed up with Angel Feather and Dragon Deity of Destruction GYZE. And before we get into it, guys, how about you like the video, subscribe, comment down below, what are your thoughts about it? Yes, anyway, without any further ado, let's get into the video. Now, let's talk GYZE first. It starts off as Neon GYZE, as its starting Vanguard, and whenever you ride this unit, put the card into the G zone, and for your trigger effects, change the power increase to choose up to like a Zeroth Dragon from your G zone and remove it. And then you can ultimate stride it, so discard the same name as your Vanguard, and then flip the card over essentially, and it becomes Dragon Deity of Destruction GYZE. And then that card is a pure beast. Its effect is whenever placed on Vanguard, choose 5 Zeroth Dragons from your bind zone and then call them to separate rear guards. You cannot ride or call any other rear guards in Zeroth Dragons. And all of your units do not return to the G zone. So if you call them to the 2 rearguard circles, they don't leave, they stay on the field. And none of these Zeroth Dragons can be affected by anything. Lock, bind, cradle, delete, any of them. They can't be affected by anything. So you can't use like Gridora on them, you can't lock them with Chaos Breaker, you can't do anything like that. And then at the beginning of your turn, so presumably after you swung with 30k, 25k, at the beginning of your next turn, basically, you deal 5 damage. You deal 1 damage for every Zeroth Dragon on your thing. So considering they can't be attacked, they can't do anything. That's pretty insane. So they're only going to keep you at 1 damage through the whole thing if they can. Like they can, and they probably will, because it's a great damage denying option. And, they have near infinite CB anyway, but we will get into that in a bit. So, what makes this deck interesting? It's essentially, a win. It's one of those instant win kind of things. If you can do it, you'll probably win in like 1 and 2 turns after the GYZE turn anyway. If you get like really lucky, say if you pop the OT or anything, so you can heal it. But yeah, you have maybe 1, maybe 2 turns to deal with this GYZE, and if you don't, then you're just going to lose, which is rather annoying. Now, the best deck that goes with GYZE is Angel Feather. Why is that? Because Angel Feather has near infinite CB, and you can't damage them, as I said. It's like a damage dealing deck, so instead of gaining the power off of the effect, you can do it. So a lot of Angel Feather cards, it's like deal yourself a damage, so it can just turbo GYZE out like crazy. Back in the day, GYZE was fairly slow. There wasn't like Angel Feather was fine, but whenever V came out, whenever you got all the Angel Feather support, it usually it was just able to just turbo out this GYZE. And you were able to just, obviously win at a much quicker rate through GYZE's effect whenever all the V stuff started coming out. So let's talk about Angel Feather's first stride, Holy Seraph Zafkiel. So this card deals 3 damage to you and heals 3. So if you're at 3 and you just deal yourself 3 damage, then boom, you're sweet. Because you get to deal yourself 3, so that's 3 checks to bind your Zeroth Dragons. It's a stride also, so and it gets extra drives and power, which is really, really strong if you just want to, if you're able to go for game, because like why not? But there's always that like GYZE pressure, so they're always probably going to guard to keep you at 1 anyway, to keep yourself at 1 anyway. So yeah, that's Holy Seraph Zafkiel. That's kind of the first and only main stride that they'll probably go into, because you only need to kind of if you're dealing yourself 3 damage. If you're playing the game, if you're using the deck extremely effectively, you will probably have you will deal yourself 5 trigger damages, relatively quickly. But yes. And onto the main deck Angel Feather cards. We got Black Shiver. That gives you Protect 1. Protect 1 is very crucial in this deck because it's just a PG. It's extra PGs in your hand, which is extremely strong, which is, extremely stally for what GYZE wants to do. Your front row gains power, and, it also deals yourself a damage as well. And, again, that just turbos out, so you're not going to, what's the word? You're not going to Superior Stride. Not really, you don't need to. If you want to turbo out those Protect 1s even more, you can. But you're probably, it's an option too. But, again, looking in the main deck once more, I think draw triggers are the best thing. People are running draw triggers a lot because you get to just draw more cards. Who cares about the power gain? Like, you're going to deal them 5 damage anyway, so you're just going to draw a card. And you're just going to keep drawing through all your drive checks. You're probably going to have 12. You're either running 11, probably 11 draw triggers because you're running the vanilla OT. Because that's the best one to run. So the vanilla OT is your best option because, you can choose to give the power anything. There's no other effects that you have to deal with. The Cater Sanctuary one. You don't really want to give your rear guards drive checks because you want to damage deny them and keep your opponent very, 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 very low on damage, and you don't want to attack. You can't, drawing more cards is fun, but yeah, yes, but anyway. Back to now, just on final thoughts on the deck. GYZE is probably the most expensive premium deck out there. It's extremely, extremely expensive. GYZE itself goes for about 70 to 80, maybe 90 pound, whatever that is in USD or whatever. Zeroth Dragons are also really expensive. They go like at least 30, 40, 50 a copy. And ironically, the cheapest one here, Peak Ultimate, you're not allowed to use if you're using an OT. So, yeah, that sucks. The cheapest one you can't run. So that really sucks. But overall, this deck is just extremely powerful. And you're swinging it for 25,000. And your opponent can guard if you want. Your opponent can guard. See if they can probably maybe make it through. But other than that, guys, that is Angel GYZE. You're going to be drawing a lot. You're going to be dealing yourself loads of damage, and you're going to be dealing your opponent 5 damage every one of your turns. So yeah, it's an extremely powerful deck. I think it's fairly easy to play. I find it kind of boring to play, but it's very, very strong, and that's why a lot of people are running it. If you have the money, I can suggest it. I can say, yep, absolutely, go play this deck. But anyway, guys, I'd just like to thank you all for watching. This is kind of my first deck analysis video. Comment if you want to see more, if you enjoyed the video. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.